Hey there everyone, and welcome to another VTuber reading of the Monster Girl Encyclopedia. With a little, well, I would say a little different, but I mean obviously a little different because we are going to read about two Monster Girls in this video because due to some private reasons, I couldn't do much of anything yesterday, so yay. I mean, hey, it was a nice one-day break from recording and streaming and stuff. Anywho, the Monster Girls we will be reading about today. Well, I probably should wait with revealing the second one until we get around to it. But the first one is gonna be the Minotaur. One that I would actually enjoy if I remember the entry for it correctly. Anyway, Minotaur. Family Minotaur, and I'm about to yawn. Anyway, type Beastman. Habitat grasslands and dungeons such as those found in caves and labyrinths. I mean, there is the whole Minotaur of the labyrinth. Anyway, nature. Aggressive and violent. Yeah, the fact that she has chains for accessories and that by the looks of it, the axe is actually chained to one of her arms there. Yeah. Anyway, diet omnivorous. Favors meat. A particular kind of meat. Wink wink. Alright. Anyway, the Minotaur is a beast man with cattle characteristics. Minotaurs are monster warriors known to wield gigantic weapons with formidable ease. They are rough in temperament and tend to act as they please. Without careful thought, for this reason they are very dangerous. When a Minotaur sees a human who meets her fancy, she immediately charges and takes them for her own. A Minotaur's endurance is boundless, and she delights in violating humans with as much force as she can muster. Oh my. I mean, killer abs though. Quite literally in this case, I bet. Thus, a human caught by a Minotaur must must resign themselves to submission until she faints, until they faint from exhaustion. It is important to note that Minotaurs are aroused to even greater violence by the color red. Alright. A human who wears red before a Minotaur is almost... before a Minotaur. So they mean that in front, you know? For those of you who think the other way. Anyway, it is almost certain to become the sole target of her ferocious desire to fill herself to the brim with their I'm gonna not read the rest of that sentence. You guys can probably imagine what it says there. However, though Minotaurs are dangerous creatures, they are fond of sleep and do not wake easily. In most encounters with minotaurs, one will find them sleeping. They spend most of the day in slumber. Yeah, I have something in common with this one. Even right after eating or having that kind of fun, a minotaur is likely to doze off with her partner still in her arms. The human may find themselves unable to escape and is therefore or and is thereafter treated as her partner. Minotaurs are highly indulgent, rarely showing interest in matters other than food, sleep, and that kind of fun. The only three things they are truly passionate about. In particular, minotaurs who have acquired a partner seem to think of that kind of fun with them almost continuously. Wait, did I misread something there? Oh, so they think of that kind of fun almost continuously. Alright. When they are not having that kind of fun, it is quite likely they can either be found eating or sleeping. Minotaurs seem to take supreme joy in sleeping with their partner. Aww. She's very violent, but aww. With their partner in their arms, especially after an exhausting day of that kind of fun. Later, when she opens her eyes and sees the face of her partner that she loves, with a bit of violence. I mean, seriously, they say that she's violent as hell. It even says her nature is aggressive and violent. Imagine having a doting minotaur. I mean, if the minotaur in question looks like the illustration here, then holy shit, I would go for it. Alright. With the human with her partner who she loves, she cannot help but climb atop them once again. Thusly, her day begins and ends in that kind of fun. After which, she drifts off once more into a comfortable and well-deserved sleep with her partner in her arms. The cycle begins anew. Ah. Now that was the Minotaur here. Holy crap, the fact that I read it in only 8 minutes. Huh. Anywho, let's put this one back up real quick so we change to the other one. And now, the other monster girl we will be reading about today is one that I actually remember finding like a really funny like one panel comic for. And it actually comes with a additional artwork which I cannot show, and that text below. Anywho, the second monster girl for this video is the Holstaurus. Yes, also, conveniently enough, in the Minotaur family. I mean, if you couldn't guess it, right? Alright. Holstaurus. Family, Minotaur. Type, Beastman. Habitat. grasslands and human settlements. Nature, gentle and devoted, so the complete opposite of a normal minotaur then. Diet, omnivorous, favors grasses. Alright. Holstaurs are a variant of the minotaur, previous entry, which we also just read, which with distinctive black and white, or with a distinctive black and white coat. Unlike the minotaur, their violence has mellowed over the course of their evolution. They have chosen to live under the human hand and are correspondingly docile in character and rarely attack humans. However, like minotaurs, they are unskilled at deep thought. So a ditz. Alright. Deep thoughts and tend to behave idly. They spend most of their time sleeping, feeding, or engaging in that kind of fun. Wild Holstauruses wander about continuously, searching for a partner to be their master. Oh boy. Upon finding a human they like, they will live with them among human settlements or nearby. Holstauruses often press their enormous melons against a human. This is their way of expressing affection. Huh. Anyway, squeezing their squeezing their fun bags. I mean, is considered a sign of emotive reception. Alright. And is enthusiastically welcomed. When a Holstaurus presses her coconuts against a human with special force, it is a signal that she desires to have some fun. Holstauruses try to respect sorry with that whole chest thing. My brain is foring. Anyway, Holstauruses try to respect the wishes of their masters. So the human is free to ignore her entirely if they so choose. However, though they might be idle, Holstauruses are monsters with inhuman, specifically directed at that kind of fun, appetites, so they only withstand being ignored for so long. Thus, a docile Holstaurus who has been repeatedly rebuffed will turn violent and attack the human in order to have non-consensual fun. It actually says non-consensual. She will remain intractable until the entirety of her long accumulated pool of libido has been depleted. Another trait the Holstaur shares with the Minotaur is its fun time stuff, I'll say there, by the color of red pigmented or red pigment exposure. To the color causes a Holstaurus to become violent for a time, as if she just remembered she is a monster, leading her to attack much in the manner of the original Minotaur, who is also impassionate by... Oh wait. Who is also in possession by extended exposure. Wait, did I think I skipped a line. Minotaur also who... Yeah. To the color red. Exposure to the color red. However, when a Holstaurus is so turned... That kind of fun. And yes, I almost said something else there. She maintains her instinct to seek her partner. It is said that if a Holstaurus with a partner becomes wants to have fun by seeing the color red, she will charge across any distance in order to find him. Oh god, imagine you have like a Holstaur's girlfriend or something like that, and she goes shopping, sees the color red, and she just charges through the door. That would be funny. Also mildly terrifying. Holstauruses can proceed... okay, Holstauruses can produce milk. I mean, obviously they're based on a cow. I mean, just look at those udders. Damn. Anyway. From there, you know what. Without having children, which is actually how most cows continue, how all cows essentially continuously give milk. They always have a calf. And yes, my brain was searching for the word for the baby cow. But funny enough, I actually had work with on like a kind of like a cow farm, and I actually had to deal with a lot of the calves, who were stupidly adorable, by the way. Anyway. Their milk not only exceeds almost any other in flavor and nutrition, but also boosts potency. It is highly sought after by both humans and monsters. Alright. I'm just gonna say this next line here the way it is actually written here, so... Anyway, a man who bides with a Holstaurus will find that he will need nothing more than her milk to keep himself healthy. Oh, now on to the little bit of text that is below the artwork that I cannot show because she has a very particular thing in between her bare watermelons, if you know what I mean. And she's covered in a different kind of white liquid. Alright. A Holstaurus takes great pride in her chest which are which are pliant and soft. She has fun with the human she loves by pressing um, their sweet weight against them and melting them with their embrace. Oh boy. Well, man, have I already found the perfect freaking thumbnail for this video. Well, the artwork that I'll use as the thumbnail anyway. Well, with that said, that was it for this VTuber reading of the Monster Girl Encyclopedia. I hope you guys will enjoy this one that's a bit longer than usual and actually contains 2 monsters. Now, one reason why I also did do like 2 monsters in one is because first off, the entry for the Minotaur was rather short. So, yeah. And the other one being, I kind of just felt like it. Anyway, again, with that said, hope you guys enjoy... hiccups and stuff. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream of whatever I'll be making and or streaming. Also, feel free to like if you enjoyed it, or share it with your friends and say, look at this weirdo. Anyway, again, I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next one. Bye!